There's an existence that's lighting up this thing, but the thing is not the light. Yeah. So we are like the bulb, and the I am is the light, yeah, or the electricity. Yeah. Existence is lighting up this event and moving it and giving it. And then the head misunderstands that, doesn't recognize your nature, and claims to be a physical nature. You're an appearance. Yeah. And then from there on, everything is said coming from there and reinforcing there. Yeah. And you actually become the living reinforcement of this. And this is why it's so absurd, you trying to get out of it when you are actually the whole point of in it. Yeah. So the out becomes a bigger in, literally. Yeah. Because while you're trying to get out with all the shit, you're reinforcing this is this of what you're in, and you're not actually in it. That's the great news. Yeah. Just like that. You're not in it, actually. It only appears to be true. Yeah. And if something appears to be true and it ain't, it can also appear not to be true, because it doesn't have a truth. Yeah. It appears to be true, and then it can appear not to be true. When if there is a truth in us, you would be the I am. You know, these people, some say, speak your truth. Well, there's no speaking it. What you are speaks louder than what you say. But the I am would be the truth, let's say. So that truth is that which finally sees the false evidence that was appearing real to be false evidence. Yeah. Now, and this is the beautiful point of it. It keeps appearing real. Yeah. It's almost as if you and I were looking away, and we saw it like an oasis, you know, palm trees and shit, and gross. So we thought there's got to be water. And when we go there, there's no water. There was no palm trees, nothing. When you leave and you get a certain distance, you see the palm trees. Even though you know there are no palm trees, you went there, and when you got to the location, there was no palm trees. When you move away from it, an optical delusion, you see the palm trees, called the mirage. Yeah. So mirage doesn't disappear through your knowledge. It's optical. Yeah. So if you get a certain distance away from it, that which wasn't appearing starts appearing to you. Well, here you go. What is that distance? It doesn't have to look like a mile. You can be a mile away from something right next to you. Yeah, so this distance the head makes a mirage seem to be a real. Even though when you have evidence and you really got it, it's not real, it's going to appear to be real. So when you see through this event of dreaming, it doesn't stop the dreaming. The show goes on, yeah, because you're not the producer of the show. You're not the cause of the show, yeah? Yeah, so the show goes on. See, I believed it was going to stop. I did. When I was listening to people and they said, get out of the dream, I thought I was going to get out of the dream. And either it would be a revised, much more upgraded dream, all about me and everything would go well, or something else. But I really believe it wouldn't look like it looks the way it looks now, because I want to get out of this. Yeah, it's not like I don't have any problem with a dream. It's this fucking dream I'm bothered about. Yeah, no one's listening to what I want them to do. So I want to get a more controlled and dream. Yeah. So I had that understanding. It was a misunderstanding. I did. And I had a lot of misunderstandings about what was my reaction or what was a mechanical reaction. There was a lot of owning of mechanical reactions where I was. Therefore, I was beholden to blind spots or just built-in programmable mistakes, and took it personally, like I was doing that sort of on purpose, and that would make me bad if I'm bad. So you can break it down. If you want to have an understanding of dreaming and the meaning of given things, let's just use, you're sitting here with someone and they're afraid of being destitute, all right? Yeah, you know what destitute means. You have nothing, like that. Okay, so then you, instead of talking about the destitution, you say, well, what, how do you feel about that? Well, I feel if I'm destitute, no one's going to like me. Well, what does that mean to you? No one's going to like you. Well, I'm never going to be loved. Well, what does that mean to you? I'm never going to be loved. Yeah. Sooner or later, it turns into you're bad. Yeah. You did something that made you unlikable, destitute, and never able to be loved. It usually ends there. So you could take a situation that you're complaining about and just ask, well, what does that mean to you? Being destitute, especially most people who are destitute are not entertaining being destitute, they are destitute. It's a different story when you're actually living something than when you're thinking you're going to be it. So we're sitting in the lap of a certain luxury talking about destitution, and the person's completely flipped out, but they're not destitute. So obviously, as the Course would say, you're never upset for the reason you think. So you thinking it's destitution, it ain't. It's something else. So what does it mean to you? Well, destitution means I wouldn't have any money. What would it mean to me? I wouldn't be able to get what I wanted to get, and so what would that mean? Well, then I wouldn't be attractive to others. Why? You can't stand on your own 2 feet? No, but whatever. Yes, and you can bring it, and it can only go maybe 4 or 5 floors down, and then you get to the basement, which is I'm bad. Somehow you're morally sinning or something. And so here's this space that the head fills up with meaning. The top thing is destitution, but it fills it with meaning. But the fact is, space is infinite. Yeah? So no matter how much meaning you can't fucking paste over space. You'll run out of fucking meaning. Yes. And then you'll see what actually truly is not the space you're filling with meaning, but the meaning. Yeah, I mean the space. Yeah, the space is it. These meanings are coming and going, coming and going. The space is like the screen in all the movies. Usually non-duality, the first few people was presented like everything else. You know, all you are is consciousness, da, 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 da. I didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like all I am is conscious, because the only way I would understand any feeling or thought was based on me being a long-lasting, independent, separate entity. And those thoughts weren't leading me to question that. They were leading me to question all I am is consciousness. You know, it just wasn't working. You know, you're the void or whatever. So fuck. But then the non-duality that was emphasized as negation, you know, so that works. That worked for me. I'm not expecting it to give me what it can't give me. Yes, I'm not trying to milk this mirage for things it doesn't have available. The mirage is a mirage. You know, what are you gonna do about it? I don't think you can do anything about it. That would be part and parcel of a misunderstood reaction to the mirage. Yeah, and then seeing that, I'd love. You know, Paul has been dreaming to be somewhere, like to experience its own absence as the greatest. It's not going to happen. Paul goes down with the ship. Paul doesn't jump off the ship and then see it from afar. Paul and the ship, the hull and Paul are the same material. Paul can't swim far enough not to be the boat. It's like the loudspeaker of the boat. I know I can get off this boat. No, I know you know, but that's not knowing. That's a big whopper of a misunderstanding. Yeah, yeah. So you are part and parcel of the mirage. You're not seeing a mirage. You're looking from a mirage. In this case, this is not another something that you're going to become and then get bored and want to become a better something. It's the end of the road. It's true. Yeah. The I am that I am, not the I am that being Paul. The I am that I am. Yeah. So when you land here, it isn't like you refuel and get clearer maps and then on to the 12th dimension. No, you disembark. There you go.